Hello everyone, my name is Nex, and today I am going to show you multiple methods on how to find chunk borders on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Now, chunk borders are something that can break or make a lot of farms, and they are very important. So if you don't know what a chunk is what the world is composed of. So each block in a world is inside of a chunk. And chunks are 16 times 16 blocks in size, and they go from 0 to Y255. So if you are above, you will load whatever's below you as well. And what chunks basically can break is redstone, lots of farms, and that is why it is important for us to be able to find those chunk borders. Now in this guide I will be showing you methods that you can use on any Bedrock platform. Now some of these only work on certain Bedrock platforms, but there's going to be multiple methods, so you will be able to find a chunk border on your device. And as you may know, lots of my farms need chunk aligning, including all the zero-tick farms, which definitely need chunk aligning or they tend to break. Then there are also the sim-tick farms, which rely on simulation distance, etc. And overall, it's just recommended to chunk align any contraption or farm, because chunk borders mess up things quite badly, trust me. Alright, we are going to start with the first method that works if you are on Windows 10 Bedrock Edition or Minecraft Pocket Edition, which will be Android or iOS. And this is a chunk border resource pack. Now, resource packs will not disable cheats, they just add aesthetics, and this one right here shows chunk borders. Now, there are multiple chunk border resource packs, and I will show you each one that I know of and that I think is good, and why you should use them. And this one right here is the one made by Theta Sigma. This is a white chunk border pack, and as you can see, if I do it like this, there will be more white shown right here. And this chunk border pack is quite good because, well, it shows chunk boundaries and also sub-chunk boundaries, and overall it's just clean and white, and it's great. So again, chunk border resource packs, Windows 10 and MCPE. Unfortunately, consoles like PlayStation, Switch and Xbox do not work because you cannot import those resource packs. And no, those resource packs are unfortunately not on the marketplace. So the second chunk boundary resource pack that I can recommend you is this one right here, made by ABC55 and Longstone Torch, and this one shows you red, green and blue chunk boundaries, and those indicate the axes on which the chunk borders are located. So as you can see, this right here is a sub-chunk boundary, and those right here are normal boundaries. Now, the problem with this one is that the red or the blue only shows on one side. So as you can see, it shows on this side, but if I break this, it doesn't show right here, which can be an issue for you. But either way, this chunk border resource pack, like all the others, works on Pocket Edition and Windows 10 Edition. Console, unfortunately, you cannot import them. Now this right here is the Chunky Torch resource pack made by Fizzcannon and others, like the ones I mentioned before, because you may look at it and you may not see any difference. However, this chunk border resource pack, as you can see, shows the spawning sphere. So as you may know, mobs on Bedrock Edition spawn 24 to 54 blocks from you, and this resource pack right here will show you where the actual mobs will spawn from you. So as you can see, if we are right here and we start going out, we will see the first circle closing in, and this means that this is the inner edge of the sphere, and then there's the outer edge. As you can see, the line is getting smaller, and this will basically show you from where to where your mobs will spawn. But apart from that, it's almost the same as the other one. There's also another difference, and it's that it will show you whether a block is going to be spawnable. So we're just going to close ourselves in for a second so that I can show you what I mean. As you can see, everything is yellow right here, and this will basically mean that the block will be spawnable once we are in range. Right now we are way too close, so I'm just going to make a little platform so I can demonstrate to you what I mean. So as you can see, this block right here is going to be spawnable, but right now we are too close, so it isn't spawnable yet. But once we get out of range, it will turn red, and this is when a mob will be able to spawn in it and you are far enough away. And when it's yellow, it will just show that a mob is going to be able to spawn once you are out of range. And this is the only difference this resource pack has over the normal chunk border resource pack with the red and blue lines. Now this right here is the chunk border resource pack from Dr. Av 0011's Bedrock tweaks, basically the Bedrock adaptation of Xizuma Void's vanilla tweaks. And as you can see, it will show chunk borders on the X, Y, and Z axis. And so this one is pretty cool because it is less intrusive than the one showed previously, but it still shows all chunk border boundaries, and as you can see, it won't have the issue where it only shows on one side, so this is pretty good. Again, this is from the Bedrock tweaks resource packs made by Dr. Av, and I will have a link to that down in the description, and you can find it on the website, and it's also available in my Discord server. So, if you're looking to find any of these resource packs for chunk boundaries, they are in my Discord server. Now, in order to install them, you're just going to want to open the mcpack file and import it into Minecraft. Now, on Android, you may have to get an additional file explorer because most Android phones don't support opening it by default and importing it. What you're definitely not going to want to do is copy it yourself into the folder. Don't do that because then these chunk border resource packs will not work for sure. So again, Windows 10 Pocket Edition, this is pretty much the best method to find chunk borders because it's so easy. So, let's say you are on Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation 4 and you have no way of installing a chunk border resource pack. Well, what do? Well, I'm going to show you that. So first of all, you're going to want to make sure that you have coordinates enabled, and you can find that in world settings right here, show coordinates, and when that is enabled, you will see that in the top left corner, there is position showed, and that will basically tell you at which coordinates you are inside of the world. Now, what you're going to want to do next is write down those coordinates with the minuses. It's very important. The second number, it doesn't really matter because that is the Y coordinate, and chunks aren't really positioned on the Y coordinate. You're just going to want to write down the first and the third number. So what you are going to want to do next is go on this website right here. This is chunkbase.com. As you can see, the URL is up here. And you're going to want to go to the apps section and then choose any given tool. Now we're just going to use the biome right here because it gives us an overview of the biomes as well. And you don't have to enter your seed at all, or you don't have to change anything down here. You can do anything like that because chunk borders are the same on all platforms, and you're going to want to enter your coordinates. So we had -212, -19. Now we're just going to type that in, and as you can see, there's going to be the little red dot right here. Now, once you have that little dot right here, you're going to want to hover with your mouse over the chunk right here. And if you are mobile, I think you'd have to tap on the chunk. And as you can see, there will be little numbers displayed right here. So right under where my mouse is, there's numbers displayed. It says from -224, -32 to -209, -17. Now those are the coordinates of the chunk corner blocks. So you're going to want to go in-game to the first of those two coordinates and the second. So we're going to go to the first, which is -224, -32. We're going to just take a block. We're going to go to -224, -32. So -224 and -32. That is one chunk corner. Then go back to your tool right here. And the next one is -209, -17. So you're going to go to -209. Let's find that. -209, -17. And as you can see, those will be your chunk boundaries. So we can just mark those out like that. And if we did everything correctly, it should be 16 blocks long. So we're just going to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. There you go, this is a chunk, and those are the chunk boundaries right here. So if you place a block here, you will be in the next chunk. And this is pretty much the easiest method to find chunk borders on console. Now, what if you are on a realm or some other multiplayer server and coordinates are not enabled? Well, we're just going to simulate that, so we're going to turn off coordinates. So that method is in case you really don't have access to any sort of coordinates. So we're just going to turn the coordinates off, and we're completely blind now. Well, what do? Well, very simple. So you're going to want to grab yourself some leaves, and before you start this, you're going to want to make sure that you go to video settings and that you have fancy leaves on. So this is going to be on. And you're just going to want to drag out a line like this. So make it just that it's fairly long. And what you do then is that you turn fancy leaves off. And then what you can do is update the leaves. And as you can see, this right here is a chunk border. So as you can see, it will stop right here. And this is a chunk boundary. So what you're going to want to do is just place some blocks right here. You know, between those two blocks, there's a chunk boundary. Actually, let's do it like that. And once you have that done, of course, you are going to want to turn fancy leaves back on. And make another line going across like that. And that right here will be the line on which you apply the same method as before. Turn fancy leaves off. You're going to want to update that, and there we go, here is a chunk border. So, once you have those two, it's pretty simple to find the next chunk border. So, since we know there's a chunk border right here, and a chunk border right here, we can easily determine what the chunk size is. So the chunk is just going to be like that. This is a chunk corner, and then just make it so that it's 16 times 16. It's very simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And there we go, this is a chunk, and this method, as far as I know, it works on all platforms, and if it doesn't work for you, then I don't know why, because it definitely should work. And again, this is pretty much the only method that leaves you with a result without having any coordinates enabled or being on console where you can't have a resource pack. Or possibly on a realm where resource packs are enabled as well. So that is a great method to find chunk borders. And this method was found by JX67, so a link to that will be in the description because it's quite a great method. So those are all the methods on how to find a chunk border that I have to show for today. All the sources of those resource packs or websites or methods of a video link will be linked down in the description. And of course, if you want some of those resource packs, there's my Discord server, because I have them in there, and that's an easy way for you to download them. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this guide. This is a video that quite a lot of people have requested, because most of my farms, if not all of them, require chunk aligning in some shape or form, and this will be very useful for most people that are going to attempt building a farm like a zero-tick farm or anything like that, which most definitely will break if it's on a chunk border. So, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video and hope that you found this video very useful. Please consider checking out my Patreon page where you can support my work, because I put a lot of effort into these videos. And I will also hope to see you inside of my Discord server, because I hang out there a lot and I would highly enjoy seeing you there. And today's supporter message of the video from Andy FTW is "Choosy moms choose GIF." Okay. Well, again, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you very much enjoyed this video and got a ton of use out of this. My name's Nex, and bye bye.